Prelude to Water Melody by 苏轼, translated by Xu Yuanchong. How long will the full moon appear? Wine cup in hand, I asked the sky. I do not know what time of year tea would be tonight in the palace on high. Riding the wind, there I would fly, yet I'm afraid the crystalline palace would be too high and cold for me. I rise and dance, with my shadow I play. On high as on earth, would it be as gay? The moon goes round the mansion's red, through gauze-draped windows to shed her light upon the sleepless bed. Against man she would have no spite. Why then when people part is she oft full and bright? Men have sorrow and joy, they part or meet again. The moon is bright or dim, and she may wax or wane. There has been nothing perfect since the olden days. We'll live long as he can. Through miles apart, we will share the beauty she displays. Now the Chinese version. 明月几时有，把酒问青天。不知天上宫阙，今夕是何年？我欲乘风归去，又恐琼楼玉宇。高处不胜寒，起舞弄清影，何似在人间？转朱阁，低绮户，照无眠。不应有恨，何事长向别时圆？人有悲欢离合，月有阴晴圆缺。此事古难全。但愿人长久，千里共婵娟。So this poem is probably one of the most famous poems on brotherhood and insights on life in China. Written in the year 1076 on exile, Su Shi was 41 years old. He wrote down the background of this poem as Mid-Autumn Festival, drank all night merrily, very drunk. I wrote this poem in memory of my brother Ziyou. So obviously, drinking alcohol helps with writing good poetry. The moon has always been an important imagery in China as a symbol for missing something, usually one's hometown or families. So this year's Mid-Autumn Festival marks the 7th year that the two brothers haven't met each other. And as you may know, the Mid-Autumn Festival in China is supposed to be a festival for family gatherings. The moon's wax and waning reminded him of humans separating and gathering, which often goes against our wills. And he complained about the full moon while he and his brothers were apart. Yet, besides missing his brother, Su Shi also conveyed his political ambitions quite subtly here, when he depicted the glamorous palace in heaven. Some scholars suggest that this is indeed a poem written for the emperor to express Su Shi's upsetness. Despite the complaints and sorrows, just like the previous poem introduced, Su Shi once again shouted out his optimism that people being apart can still appreciate the beauty of the same moon. With the introduction of this poem, I would also like to mention some basic knowledge about Chinese poetry. There are many types of poems in China, but the two major ones are shi and ci. While shi are mostly those that come with sentences with the same number of Chinese characters, ci's form is much more liberal. Actually, ci was first introduced in Tang Dynasty with the introduction of music from today's Western and Middle Asia. In Song Dynasty, ci reached a peak. So ci was not like poems or shi that were written for reading out loud. Ci was written as lyrics for music, which indicates that this ci should have had its music that we were able to sing with. However, the music is gone and we're only left with the beautiful lyrics today. Modern artists have made melodies for this poem, and I will attach a link to a performance in the comments section. Hope you enjoy the content and the music, and I'll see you next time.